What's up, everyone? This is Duran Yowitz over at Alpha 7 Trading Academy. I am here today to explain a simple TWS tutorial. Now, TWS is not Thinkorswim, it's not TOS, it is Trader Workstation, and it is used in line with interactive brokers. So if you're looking for a broker and you happen to stumble upon interactive brokers, this is one of the platforms that you could utilize. Now, this platform is very basic. It doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles, and that is why I really just use it for main purposes of execution, and I still base my trades off charts on Thinkorswim. I guess I just got so used to Thinkorswim charts that I just don't see myself trading on any other charts. But really, in any platform, the most important thing that you need is execution, right? As long as you understand how to execute, how to put stops, how to watch time and sales, how to make sure level 2 is in line, and all the little nuances that you need in order to be able to execute appropriately. With that being said, even if you're not going to use the charts, you will still need to purchase the data, because the data and the charts are connected with the level 2. So if you don't have level 2, you won't be able to place any orders because there's no data. So either way, you need to get the data, but the data is cheap, and if you trade through them, I believe like after $10, if I'm not mistaken, or $15, I think you get rebated. So I don't think I ever paid for any fees really, and the best thing is there's no monthly fee. So compared to like Sterling, $250, Lightspeed, $250, and all the other ones that require money, this one doesn't. And that could be really good, especially when it's $250 right out of the pocket and every month. So think about the savings there. Now, let's begin. So with interactive brokers and TWS, one cool thing is that you could either build windows into the platform screen, or mainframe is how I'm going to explain it throughout this webinar right here. And you can see that you could put anything you want in here. However, if you'd like, you could also take them outside and put them anywhere you want on multiple screens. Very similar to Sterling. If anyone has ever traded Sterling or Ninja or eSignal, you could do the same thing. With Thinkorswim, you can't. Now, recently they made something new, which is called Mosaic, and then they have Classic TWS. There really isn't that much of a difference, and the similarities definitely way more than the differences. However, I believe with Classic TWS, there are a few parameters, additional parameters that you're able to use, such as being able to place option stops, right? Option contract stops based on the underlying price action, and which is could be really beneficial for options, right? So let's begin. We're going to go through what we really need, which is to be able to execute and manage your trades. So the first thing we're going to add is the position summary, orders, and trades. So anytime you need a new window, new chart, a new indicator, new time and sales, new watch list, new chart, new order box, all that will happen through File. So we're going to click File here. I'm going to go to Mosaic because I'm used to using Mosaic, but like I said, there really isn't that much of a difference. We're going to go to New Window, and I'm going to click Order Management. And Order Management is the third from the top, and it doesn't matter which one you click, right? Because you're gonna add all three of them once you open up one of the windows. So let's just use Add Trades, right? So I added trades for activity. Now you could see this little plus sign right here on the tabs. We're gonna add orders, and then we're gonna add summary. And you could even click and hold and change the order if you desire. The next thing we're gonna need is an order entry, right? That's probably the most important, is the order entry, which is the first one. You can see right there, it puts in. We'll put that below. And for now, just to show you an example, you see, when it highlights red, I can pull it out. Now, There's an option on the top right to lock your layout. So when I lock it, I can't move anything inside the box, but I'm still capable of locking it outside the box, okay? And I won't be able to put it inside, okay? Because it's locked. So once I unlock it, right, then once this red box highlights green, that means it's good to go inside the mainframe, okay? So we got the order box. The next thing we're going to need is the level 2. Now, I know it's weird. A lot of platforms, they have the order box and level 2 put together. This one doesn't. So we're going to use market depth level 2. And I'm going to just push this lower for now. Make it easier. And even this up a bit. So we have the ability now to see our summary for the end of the day or for the current moment. We have the trades and the orders, and we'll be able to even manage them from here or change them or cancel them, okay? Then you have your order box, and then you have your level 2. And you're not going to see that much data because it is already 6:24 when I am doing this video. So the next thing we're going to do is add time and sales. So we're going to File, New Window, Time and Sales, and you're going to pick the regular one. I'm going to put this on the bottom. Now what's great with TWS is that it acts like a puzzle, so when it gets close to corners and edges, it automatically compiles it. Now another thing is, you could actually change what you want to see in the time and sales by right-clicking, going to NBBO, and then choosing whether you want to display the trade and the changes in bid and ask prices. But usually I just do display trades, right? Simple. And then once you see the double-headed arrow, you could truncate it, right? Put it like that. You could even move the columns once you see the double-headed arrow and provide some more room. Okay, maybe even push this, all right? So we got the time and sales, we got the level 2, we got the order box, and we got our activity. Now, I don't know how many use a watch list straight from the platform, but just in case, you go to File, New Window, Watch List, and then you got it here. And then you can create different folders, different watch lists. Usually I like to create my normal watch list, which is just a huge compilation of stocks that I've traded before or that I think they're interesting. And then I create another one that bases off the indices. And then I create another one that is based on yesterday's after-hours earnings and today's pre-market earnings to see what's going on with those and see if I could find any little golden nuggets, right? So I'm going to close out this watch list for now. Actually, I could just leave it on. So we're going to add charts, and we're going to add them on the bottom, and I'll just expand this, all right? You guys already know that you could pull it out to any window and then have it on any screen without being inside the mainframe. So to add a chart, we're going to click File, and we're going to go to New Window, and we're going to go to Chart. You just use the regular chart, not thumbnail chart. Now, this is very important. You only need to open up one chart in the beginning, and I'll explain why. Because you need to add your indicators, you need to change some settings within the chart, so that way when you open up new charts, you don't have to do that over and over and over again. It saves a bunch of times. So I'll show you how to actually save the template of the chart, so any other chart you open automatically has everything saved and the way you want it, right? It's like waking up, and then the moment you get out of bed, you look at your bed and boom, it's made, right? Same thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to add indicators, and as an example of adding indicators, I'm going to use Alpha 7's rifle charts, and you guys are more than willing, who don't have the education, to still use the rifle charts and mess around with it. So on every chart, you just click on Edit, and you go to Studies. All right, it's easier than right-clicking, because then you have to do 2 steps to get into this chart settings here, and that just makes it weird. So to find what you need, you just click on the top left, and you can actually type in what you want, right? So we're going to go first with the simple moving average. So usually when you type in the first word, it already pops up. We're going to double click 3 times because I need 3 moving averages. Now usually you could add 4, and I'll explain which one is which. Then you double click, My apologies. Then on the bottom, once you highlight each one, on the bottom you could change the period. So we're going to change this to 5. Then we're going to change this to 15. And then we're going to change this to 200. Now if you want, you could also add the 50. I'm also going to change the colors very shortly. We'll do that later. The next thing we're going to need is we're going to need the Bollinger Band. So we're going to add the Bollinger Bands, and you just need the regular one. So you can see, once again, I type in the first word, and that's it. Now, what's great about the Bollinger Band is you don't have to change anything. All right, the only thing I would change is the EMA to SMA. Right, simple moving average from exponential average to simple moving average. Now, make sure that the upper and lower band is the same color. So I like them red, because, you know, it's like a warning sign, right? If it gets to these levels, really pay attention. And then the moving average is actually the 20-period moving average, and that's why I didn't add it as a regular simple moving average, because the Bollinger Band already includes it. And we're going to make that, you want to have some contrast here, right? So we're going to make that white, all right, for the most part. And now we're going to add stochastics. So I'm going to type STOCH, and the one that we need is the regular stochastic oscillator. And this one's a little bit more trickier. So the observation period needs to be changed to 15. The slow moving average is 3, and the fast is 5. Okay? And then once again, you change the EMA to SMA. And even more important is to make sure that the two lines have enough contrast to be able to see the little nuances when they're overlapping. So I like to use red and green. Doesn't matter which way, okay? Just know which one is which is pretty easy. And then we're going to click apply. And we can see here we have everything in here, right? There are some things I could remove, hide the legend, okay, as you could see. And some people, they may be starting off with TWS with a very small screen, and you may not have enough room to be able to see all the data. So if anything, you could always just hide the volume by right-clicking, and then all the way on the bottom, you could see it says show and hide volume. And there we go. Alright, so now we have to change the color of the simple moving averages. So we're going to go back to studies. We're going to go to moving average, and each one has the color here. So the 5-period moving average I like to have as a baby blue. And then the 15 I usually have as orange. Very close to red. And then I have the 200. Now the 200 I actually use the same as baby blue or yellow, because usually it's so far away from everything else that it's easy to distinguish, and you don't really need to have that much contrast. So you could tell the difference between what the 5MA is and what the 200MA is, right? So we're going to click apply. Okay, and there we go. We have our first chart. Now what we're going to do is we're going to click file, and then you're going to see it says save chart template as. Make sure you use as, because if you do save chart template, you may be overriding a defaulted chart already, or something that you've already created prior. So always do save chart template as, and then we're going to type in TWS rifle. Okay, click save. And now when I open up another chart, apologies, this is not added to the screen. As you can see, it's not added, right? It needs to be green, right? So the layout's locked, that's why. And now I could put this in. So let me just move this here. And now you can see that it's green. Boom. All right. So we go to new window, chart, regular chart. It opens up here. Attach it. Now you don't want to go through that whole process again, right? So we go to file. You go to open chart template, not regular open. And you see TWS rifle, you click load. Okay, if you want, you could even set as default. So that way you don't even have to do this step. And there you go. And I'm going to do it again. We're going to open up 4 charts. We're going to open up the 1, 5, 15, and 60. Now, for those who do understand our education or have some knowledge of our strategy, we use multiple time frames to be able to simultaneously find breakouts happening on different time frames and other nuances as well, but that's really the gist of it. And then we added the 4th one here. So we need to click File, Open Chart Template, Load, Done. File, Open Chart Template, Load, Done. Now, we have everything we need and more. So what we're going to do is we're going to need to link these charts. Now, in each window, there's actually a chain link. So we're going to make sure that they're all pink, right? Group 1. So I'm going to click Group 1, and very important, make sure that the level 2 and the order box is also grouped. Now, if you want, and the time and sales. Now, if you want, let's say you have another screen and you want to have another order box with level 2 and time and sales focused on 4 other charts for a different stock. That's fine. All you have to do is just make sure you're using a different group so they don't overlap, right? So now when I change to the stock and I change to Facebook, they're all going to change, right? You guys see that? Now, most importantly is to make sure that you, after configuring your platform, you want to save the whole layout. So you're going to go to Save Settings As, and you're going to type in, I already have a TWS rifle, and then click Save, and it's going to save it. Now, opening it up just in case you lose it is a little bit tricky. So what you want to do is you want to go to Layout Settings Recovery, and then you're going to see the latest one that you had. All right. Lastly, if you want to put an alert, there's 2 ways. It's really easy here. You just click Alert, and then you look at the price, and then you pop it in. Okay. Or you could go to File, New Window, and then Alerts, and then you could actually go a little bit deeper and build a portfolio of alerts or manage them. Now that we have the platform set up, you guys are good. There's only one more thing that I want to add for the basic tutorial of TWS, which is the options, the option chain. And the option chain looks like this. Okay. And then, very simple, you just change it here, and you could change it to Facebook, and it'll open them up. And if you want, you could even add more, or you could go even deeper through the settings. Okay, and then you could even right-click and configure. All right, so this is how it works. So one last thing that I want to show is that you could also create a new window group outside. So I could open up a whole nother one here, and then create another box and put it on the other window. Or you could actually create another tab and then continue to just have different charts or different layouts on a bunch of tabs here. All right, now, this platform does not take a lot of memory. It's not like Thinkorswim, so you don't have to worry about having a ton of charts and if it's going to eat away at memory. All right, as long as you have 8 gigs of RAM, you should be able to handle TWS and any of the other applications that you use while you trade. And that is about it. Now, I am going to go a little bit deeper on our next tutorial where I'm going to go over hotkeys, and I'm also going to go over the options analytics for interactive brokers, which is pretty similar to Thinkorswim, and I think it's a really great tool to know how to use. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, or any other suggestions that you'd like me to do, any other platform reviews, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to do them. So take care, enjoy, and see you next time.